This time of season, one of the main problems that we face is this concept of time running out. There's only a finite amount of games left in the season.
You've got this sort of countdown period and you feel that you're in a tunnel really, being drawn towards that target to win the Premier League.
The teams at the bottom, how do we get the points to avoid going through the trapdoor?
The screw is turning and it's how well you deal with it between now and the end of the season.
This concept of time running out can cause an anxiousness.
It affects the performance in training, it affects the performance in games. These players that get nervous, have doubts.
As the end of the season draws closer, so the stakes become higher, the margin for error ever smaller. Uncertainty can creep into a player's mindset.
Doubt is a very real phenomenon. It can be created by the external situations around us. It can be created by a focus on, normally, the uncontrollable. Doubt is a very real and dangerous psychological problem or an issue that a team may face.
No more so than when a team is low on confidence, epitomised by Brian Robson's West Brom side of 2004. History was against them. No team bottom of the league come the festivities had ever retained their Premier League status, and the curse of Christmas looked likely to strike again.
It was a difficult time for us. The players were nervous, and we really believed at that time that we'd got no chance of getting through this and getting out the relegation fight. I think it is all in the mind. I think we were going into games that if we went 1-0 down, then his heads would drop, and that is a vital part of football.
Yet crucially, players competing at the other end of the table find a way to deal with it.
You just have to detach yourself almost from all that heavy emotion, and you have to love it. If you're going into a game with fear, then everything's difficult. Every fixture's difficult, every pass is difficult, every moment of the match, and you've got to enjoy it, you have to embrace it.
So is this it? With all things equal, is the fine line between winning and losing defined by something intangible, the power of the mind?
The psychological side of any game that you approach now is paramount.
Ultimately, I have a belief in that sort of mental fitness of players and environments.
You only decide games on the technical, tactical and physical aspect when they don't mean much. When there is a real meaning in every point that you play for, psychologically you need to be very strong.
It is as easy to consciously coach the mind as it is the technical, tactical, physical aspects of development for a player. So the question arises, how do we train the mind? How do we get the best from ourselves psychologically to perform under pressure? Visualization can be the very skill or mental training technique that players use, which is part of that 1%, the margin that could be the difference between winning and losing.
I could sense when people were going to make mistakes. You're so in the zone, you've played through the game in your mind so many times, you know every possibility, what could go wrong, what can happen, how we're going to win the game. And then when it happens, it's almost as if you've played it before.
From that, when confidence is high, performance follows, and momentum is gained. And momentum is one of the most fascinating aspects of performance, particularly at this time of the year.
Martin Keown experienced firsthand one of the finest examples of sporting momentum as part of Arsenal's championship-winning team that went unbeaten for the whole of the 2003-04 season. The Invincibles conquered all, on the pitch and in the mind.
When a team has that momentum, is winning game after game, you do feel like you're walking on air. And the fans are almost carrying you around the city. The feel-good factor is amazing.
And hope remains for the teams fighting for survival, even when all seems lost. Despite going into the final game of the 2004-05 season, bottom of the league, with their fate out of their own hands, Brian Robson gave his West Brom team belief, and it worked.
Prior to the game, we had a video of all his best moments with the speech from Any Given Sunday, which helped us. It really did.
Horsfield! He's been on the field a matter of seconds, and the substitute attitude, Jeff Horsfield, maybe West Brom's saviour.
The speech is about your teammates and how you can help your teammates, and if you look round and see the person next to you, that they've got the belief in you and you've got the belief in them. It brought us confidence up and gave us the belief that we could do it, so really for us mindset, it put us 6 foot above every other player.
West Bromwich Albion have completed the greatest of great escapes.
This season's title winners and relegation survivors could well be the teams who have that key ingredient: mental strength.
I think you've got to love it. The overriding feeling is that you love it, you relish it, you enjoy it. This is what you were born to do.
And that becomes the defining aspect of performance in the end. How well prepared the athletes are mentally.
This is your moment in time, and you go there, you snatch it, and then you'll remember forever.
Those are the margins, and that's the difference in the end.